Hi Virgo, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Hidden Jules Tarot and my name is Jules. We are going to do your 2026 reading, so we're going to jump into it. I'm going to get an overarching archetype for you, and then also we're going to talk about some astrology month for month. I'll pull a tarot card for each month, and also we'll get some shadow cards and an abundant attraction card at the end here. Okay, well, let's see here. Spirit, what do we have for Virgo, my little Virgo babies? Also, a couple of things. I'm open for private readings. All the information is down in the description box below. I have my Cash App and Venmo down there. It is Moneybag Jules with 2 G's, so make sure that you put the 2 G's on there. I also have an Etsy link. It's a good way to donate to my channel. I do random digital products and things of that nature. And I'm super excited for all of the new subscribers. Oh my gosh. To be here. Make sure that you like, share, comment. We're just trying to get this channel up off the ground here. All right, we have the healer, the comic, the king, and the riddle. It's quite a few. Quite a few. Quite a few. Well, all right. Let's get into that really quickly. 25 could be significant. 26, 12, and 53. All right, let's see here. I love all of these colors. First off the bat here, I'm noticing that there is a lot of, look at all, it's very fiery, very warm colors here that's going on. Could have to do with our root and sacral chakra, though. The king is the ruler. You know, it's, he's the ruler over all of the, he's like the emperor, basically, in tarot. He's the bridge between eternal and day-to-day. It is also said that it's necessary for the king to die. This is the death of the ego. So he has benevolence, divine leadership, service, nobility, but the shadow side would be oppression, misuse of power, and corruption. The king is the ultimate expression of the ego, yet the great kings of mythology and history serve from an egoless place. They take their throne with grace and humility, knowing that the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing discrepancies in the kingdom. That's beautiful. The comic, it's got this cat with a party hat on, so maybe kind of like the Fool. Because back in the day, like how it started, it was a game, and a lot of the jesters used to, that's what it's reminding me of. A lot of the jesters and gypsies were the ones that came up with tarot for entertainment. Okay, let's look at 25 and 26 here. The healer, self-contained, grateful, awake. The healer approaches, let's see here, The healer's mission then becomes to move through the comfort of forgetting, through the veils of ignorance and denial, to reveal the radiance that always exists. The healer approaches us in multiple ways, from multiple angles. Knowing the cycle of healing is not linear. It is a multi-layered and circuitous process, always leading back to its own origin, much like the Ouroboros. So it is someone who continues to courageously break open the self and ego. So I love that. Okay, we have the king, and then we also have the mission of healing that. This is recognizing, you know, whenever we feel tired, needy, Really doing that. Okay, and I was right. The Joker, the Clown, the Fool. Joy, jokes, and smiles are the signs of a happy heart. Be wary of spiritual practices or teachers who will leave the comic by the wayside. The comic is usually the sage or the magician working healing magic upon any audience who will lend an ear. The comic may be the archetype that heals the deep division in our world, one pun at a time. Hilarious, ingenious, spirited, and easygoing, but also can be sarcastic, harsh, brooding, and drunk. Kind of like the image of the laughing Buddha a little bit. Yeah. And the riddle, which is in the back, which is probably confusion, not seeing things very clearly. Hello? There we go. Yeah, the mystery. The riddle card appears when the energy is deep and mysterious, like the elusive wisdom in Zen koan. Focusing harder won't do it. Neither will increase effort. Time, surrender, and humor are your only allies. Could be a great awakening or an aha moment, but beware of trickery, manipulation, things of that nature. This is sorting out like who you actually are here. But it seems like you definitely needed a time of joy, for sure. Like creating that humorous, the joy and happiness within your reality here. All right, let's get your tarot and we'll start talking about January. There is Neptune goes into Aries on January 26th. That's going to be kind of where emotional undercurrents start to surface for all the signs here. It might lift, though, the relationship fog with power, intimacy, and emotional merging starts to happen. You're starting to understand like that you don't want control, that you want trust, and the desire for deep honesty replaces keeping the peace at this point. All right, let's see here. We also pulled the Ten of Swords out here so this is, like I said, he's about to reap a harvest. He's got 10 wands in his hand, and he has been carrying all of this burden on his back, but he's about to get to where he needs to be. And I feel like with the overarching theme here, awareness comes before action, and they said we don't need to overanalyze stuff. We don't need to try to control everything. Like, you've done the work already. Like, you've had excessive pressure, and I think it's finally the month that you're going to set those wands down here. There could be also some subtle anxieties around your finances and your shared resources as well. You maybe start questioning your current work experiences and whether they are going to support you long term. Okay, for February, we have boundaries with obligation. This month is going to be very important. We also have the King of Cups here. He has major control over his emotions. He's sitting very pretty in this choppy water down here below. And he's just chilling with his cup in his hand like, I have the wisdom of my emotional world. He's very balanced in what he feels. But Saturn enters Aries on February 13th, so that's going to activate your shared responsibility zone. So this could definitely be like, what is my emotional responsibility? What's not my emotional responsibility? and really deciphering between that. Your emotional boundaries will tighten. You realize that love does not need to be an obligation, that you have a choice. Codependent or imbalanced connections will start to feel repulsive, exhausting. Love shouldn't feel like a job. Okay, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. Okay. February is kind of the continuation as far as your career goes, where you're forced to address the shared money, unequal workloads, etc. Defining terms and what is not yours to absorb here. March is a big month. We have your lunar eclipse here and also Mercury retrograde, which we pulled the moon as your tarot card. So be careful that you are, you know, seeing things as they are, and that your subconscious and illusions and fear are not getting in your way. Your personal needs need to come to a sharper focus here. If you're in a connection, it could reach a turning point where you're like, am I going to have a deeper commitment, or do we need some necessary distance in this deal? This is a month where you're going to stop shrinking just to have harmony. You matter too, Virgo. You matter, okay? Like I said, this is talking to your subconscious and realizing like all the things that you've been repressing. It's Pisces energy. You could be dealing with a Pisces as well. Like redesigning systems, reduce the load, stop compensating for broken structures. April, there's going to be partnership shock waves here. We have Uranus, whatever you want to say, enters Gemini on April 25th, which is that's going to hit your career axis quite a bit. There could be a sudden change in job directions, leadership, your public role. Unexpected opportunities or exits could happen. Your best option here is to adapt quickly. We did pull the Three of Cups in reverse. Normally they are celebrating a harvest. There's a cornucopia down there with a pumpkin. And they're cheersing, and but with it being in reverse here, there's some type of rejection. So like I said, there definitely could be an unexpected shift that happens in April for you with some type of partnership. Tech could be a big thing. This is an area that we're going to need to have growth and not just rely on predictability. Especially because we're moving into May here, which brings up the Four of Cups in reverse, which is new approaches to old problems. I think that's where we're going to gain our confidence through clarity. This is an integration month for all of the signs. In love, it's going to be like, I don't have to earn love. Like, you just deserve love because you deserve love, Virgo. In your career, you'll finally get that decisions feel cleaner. You trust your skills. Like I said, after April, you know, with sudden shifts and things like that, like, you don't have to justify your competence here. So, May, June, July, August, September, October. We need 2 more here. Okay, June. On June 30th, Jupiter exits Cancer and goes into Leo. That is one of the biggest placements for the year here. In early June, there's a lot of emotional healing and vulnerability that's happening for all the signs. This is going to be a month where you feel safe to open your heart again. With your career, there definitely could be some behind-the-scenes growth. It could be preparing you for a future role that requires you to be recognized and to have visibility since it's going into Leo. I would say that you should prepare rather than push as well. Like I said, we could definitely have a career change and it could be a level up. So okay, we talked about May. So, and with June, we also have the 4 of Wands here, which is stability, home. Like I said, we have Cancerian energy throughout June. Oh, well, towards the end of June, but then we also have Jupiter in June as well, and that is, you know, home. It's the 4th house. It's stability and things of that nature. So there could be a lot of highlights around that. You know, desire for warmth and maybe even some romance or so. So that's good. July, we pulled the 3 of Swords in reverse, which I love to see it. So we're no longer in some type of pain or suffering. Jupiter is completely in Leo at this point, so there should be some subtle momentum that's going on. Romantic energy could feel very playful. You're starting to enjoy connections. Like I said, this is a point where we finally reached a regenerative recovery growth away from the pain and suffering or bitter truth that had to happen. Doesn't necessarily have to be in love, but it's a good month for that. There's also Libra energy, so we also have another card that's Libra. Definitely could be dealing with a Libra in some way, shape, or form, which is balanced energy here. Just trust some timing and like let stuff incubate for you here. For your career, it could be a very strategic planning phase for you. Opportunities, like doors could be opening for you that you don't even know about. It's a good month to refine your skills here. Okay, we finally got all 12 out here. Ooh, and we have the 10 of Pentacles on the bottom. Ayo! We love to see it. Pop off, Virgo. Okay, so that was July. Let's talk about August here. This is a work, rest, reset month. We also have 2 eclipses. We have the solar eclipse in Leo, and then we also have the lunar eclipse in Pisces as well. Pisces eclipse is your relationship aspect, like axis here. So once again, this is another month where emotional truths may start to arise for you. You might start to feel like, okay, I just cannot carry this alone anymore. We have the 2 of Swords here, so this is listening to your inner voice when making choices. It also is a level of indecision as well, so, you know, you could realize that a partnership, once again, is either going to deepen or it's going to reveal the misalignment that you need to, you know, move around a little bit. The Leo eclipse, it might reset your routines, your health. You're forced to address burnout as another deal. Work must like support your life during this, so rebalance your effort and rest is going to be what we're looking at in August. In September, baby, we have some limiting beliefs, some addictions, some toxic attachments that are coming up here, some bondage. you're only limited by what you believe is possible. So, September is your energy. This is your month. So don't be going buck wild on your birthday here. Okay? Or if you're at the end of August, don't be going buck wild. This is Saturn integration though. I remember like earlier in February we have Saturn going into Aries, and so this is where the Saturn integration from February is going to start happening for you. You'll have a lot more emotional steadiness, less anxiety around connections because you're starting to set the boundaries that you need. Like, we're either doing this shit or we're not. We're going to either shit or get off the pot, is what my mom used to tell me. So we love to see it. This is a month where you're going to decide between, like, you know, in your career or your relationships, that like, is this sustainable, and commit to the habits that protect your energy. If you don't, like I said, you're going to be out here with the devil, and your shadow self, feeling powerless. We don't want that for you. Come on now. October, we have a Venus retrograde that's going on. So that's going to be old attachments, behavioral patterns in your romantic relationships that could be resurfacing for you. We need to have emotional reciprocity because we also pulled the Six of Pentacles in reverse here. So you definitely could see some type of injustice within power dynamics, unfairness, things of that nature. That could also deal with your financial reassessments. Like, you need to see where you're giving into situations that are not giving back to you, with it being in reverse here. The best advice is to observe patterns. Don't renegotiate anything with them. Like I said, we worked on our boundaries back here a couple months ago. So you need to get rid of the under recognition because it can feel very heavy at some point. November. Watch out for feelings of doubt. We have the Star in reverse here, and normally she's wish fulfillment. She's hopes and dreams, and whenever she comes up in reverse, it's not being able to see the truth or have fairness in the matter here. But Venus retrograde ends, so that's good news as far as relationships goes. Your boundaries should feel a lot more natural in this case, and you should be able to make more clear decisions. But like I said, there's an energy that you may feel a lot of doubt or pessimism for believing in your truth, and that's just, like I said, like, don't act from fear, like, act from self-respect, Virgo. We respect ourselves. We treat ourselves with love and kindness, okay? You don't need to over-explain your needs to folks. Like, we assert the worth calmly. There's no reason to doubt yourself. And on a good note though, we have the Sun. That ending 2026 in December, we have happiness, we have satisfaction, we have vitality, positivity, all of the greatest things here. And that's probably because Jupiter continues to build inner confidence with you, especially it being in Leo. Leo is a very confident, boisterous sign, and it's going to affect all of us in a way that, like, we're going to be able to be seen. We're going to have a lot more trust instead of being in that analysis paralysis at this point. Emotional safety will be good. You're going to end the year, like, knowing exactly what you're good at, especially because there's a shift in direction as far as your career goes. And it's going to highlight the fact that, like, you're very competent and that you have the skills that you need to be successful. It also will give you a sense of, like, what you're available for instead of overgiving. And the internal realization is probably that, like, you don't need to fix everything to be successful. Another card that did pop out here was the Tower in reverse. So we're needing to get rid of any type of weak foundations that's going on here. Like I said, I feel like that is just not believing in ourselves and our worth. That, like, instead of you saying, like, how can I make this work? It's more like, does this work for me? This is your world, babe, guys and gals. This is your world. We're just living in it. Red flag. Oh, shit. You're ignoring critical warning signs that indicate trouble ahead. Reassess your choices to now prevent bigger issues later on. That's the energy of the beginning of the year for sure for you. Like that emotional clarity that we need to have here. Lies. Oh my goodness. It's talking about you're lying to yourself and those around you. There's a secret that needs to be emerged that will only get you back into your true alignment. Grudge. Harboring hatred. Traps you in the past, anchoring you to old wounds and preventing progress. Let go with forgiveness to break free from the cycle. Let's see if we have anything else, and then we're going to get your abundant attraction card, which I love that for you. We got to see what's, like, really good that's coming in. There are some shadow cards in that deck, but I want to see the good stuff. Okay. And like I said, you had the Ten of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck too. So you could be definitely, this shifts in the middle of the year could be creating long-term legacy and success for you. But you got to do the work. You got to do the work, Virgo. Quit trying to fix everybody. You're not Bob the Builder, babe. Guys and gals, you're not Bob the Builder. Whoa. Hello. Okay, prosperous estate. We have a blocked heart and bad timing and harmful influences. Ooh, watch the people around you, okay? Maybe we need to get a different support network. Like I said, maybe that shift, like those sudden shifts, like that's probably for your betterment out here. My heavens to Betsy. Don't choose a difficult way here. Let's see here. Okay, we have blocked heart, harmful influences, bad timing, but then we also have prosperous estate. So timing is essential as action. You may feel ready, but the universe has bigger picture in mind. That's that shift. That is that shift. Just let it happen, okay? Just let it happen. Blocked heart is talking about if money, love, or success feel just out of reach, look within. This is, you need to rewrite some type of old money code. Your abundance is being blocked because of something that you're telling yourself, some type of limiting belief that you're telling yourself. Harmful influences. Don't listen to other people that are around you. They're not you, okay? Unless you want to have what they have, I would not be taking any advice from anybody. Not all who surround you support your highest good. Pay attention to relationships and influences that lower your vibration and cloud your judgment. Protect your energy by choosing your interactions wisely. If you go out with somebody or you're you know, hanging out around these people or whatever, and like you leave and you just feel like, oh my God, that was so heavy. Like they're sucking the life out of you. Okay? It's time to give it up. You don't need to save them once again. You don't have to be Bob the Builder. You don't have to fix every situation. Those are their problems, and to be honest, you're hindering their growth by trying to save them. You're not Jesus. Okay? Prosperous estate. Your prosperity is no longer just an idea. It seeks to take shape in the form of real estate and tangible assets. That's that Ten of Pentacles. You could be getting an inheritance this year. We love to see that. Be open to grounding your abundance into physical reality through acquisition of land or property. Okay. You could be, like I said, you could be gaining some type of, tangible assets this year. Yes. Good news. Good news. All right, Virgo, this is what I have for you. Make sure that you like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that way you know whenever my readings post. I also do a free reading at the end of the month. I've chose my December winner because it's the 31st today, but I will have one for January as well. So make sure that you comment your name with a money bag sign and hit the subscribe button so that way you know whenever the winner is announced. So I love you. I hope you have a great 2026, but I hope to see you very soon because I'm ready to get back to y'all's like monthly, weekly stuff. So way to go, Virgo. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.